What's up, Christopherleonjohnson here. So I'm here at the rally for the gender pay gap. I made a little 3-minute video right here. You see it upload to YouTube. But yeah, it's starting soon. 12 o'clock, guys. You know, I can't go past beyond the park because they made me sign back in. Like, you gotta go through the metal detector. But at 12 o'clock, guys, there's gonna be a vigil right over there at 12 o'clock. The vigil for the people that passed away on the job force. They do it every year. They do it every April. So I made sure not to never miss that. And I said, no matter what side people take, I mean, the people that is not here, they matter more. So, you know, people that's not here, they lives matter too. So I'm here to show my support for that. Rally's happening soon. And, you know, so what can I say? See ya.
Oh, okay. From the last. That's right. I made sure I got you one. Hello, everybody. All right, I don't know. Right.
How you doing?
All right. Let's see. If you're a part of DC-37, can you get on the steps? If you in CWA, can you get on the steps? If you're a part of CLC, can you get on the steps?
FDNY.
If you're part of FDNY, can you get on the steps? Exactly. All right. Beautiful. Feel free to fill in. Union love. Yeah. We like that. What? Last year? Yeah. See, this is why I have a second one at all times. Wow, y'all look good. Hold on, let me take a picture.
He's here.
Like Seinfeld, doesn't matter.
DC 37.
All right, wonderful. I have the last one out of here. Okay. How is everybody feeling? Good. No, that's not good. How is everybody feeling? All right. Are you guys ready to talk about pay equity? All right. Let's get this started.
Everybody. Good morning. So first, let me thank my team. Bray, who just wrapped us up, is my comms director. Kiana Diaz is right here, is my deputy chief of staff, and James is my chief of staff back there. Because since we're talking about workers, we have to recognize the workers that make sure that we can stand here and be like, we're ready to go. So thank y'all for all the efforts. I'm Councilmember Carmen De La Rosa, so proud to be the City Council Civil Service and Labor Chair. And I'm joined by my sister Farrah Lewis, Women and Gender Equity Chair, and of course we have labor icons in the house this morning. We would be remiss if we did not recognize the iconic Gloria Middleton.
Oh yeah!
I like to say that this is her baby. She's just letting us how brave it is. We have Arthur Chiliotis, president. We have Brendan Griffith and Lucia Gomez from the CLC with us. We have a whole team of BC37 in the house. And we have Michael Greco, local 2507 with us as well. Thank you so much. And today is an important day because what we're talking about today, we're going to have a hearing at noon, is about pay equity. And I would be remiss if I also didn't mention the efforts of Ms. Gloria Middleton and CWA 1180, but also the council that came before us. Yes. As someone who respects her elders and understands to honor her ancestors, it is important for us to understand that the council before us passed Local Law 18, which made it possible for today to happen. Local Law 18 made it for the first time that the city council would have access to data. Because without data, we can legislate solutions to the problems that we experience every single day. And so we know where the gaps are. Our municipal and city workers carry the burden for our cities. Whether you're sitting in our HRA office, trying to process benefits for the neediest New Yorkers, or whether you're at a call center, making sure that New Yorkers who are in need are getting the services that they need and require. City workers are at the front lines. And so what we've seen and what we continue to see, and especially this week, our speaker, Adrian Adams, and our data team made sure that we're continuing in that legacy by releasing the report, the 2024 Pay Equity Report. And what we're seeing is large, which we know is happening, large gender and racial pay gaps are present in the New York City municipal workforce. 95% of the gender and racial pay gaps are explained by occupational segregation. And so what does that mean? It means that people are stuck in titles where the pay is low, and there aren't opportunities to move on and to promote into titles where they can actually, one, make a living for their families, but two, use their talents and experience after 10, 15, 20 years at an agency. You should be able to move up into those roles that not only pay you better, but allow you to lead an agency. And so today, the City Council is going to hold this hearing. We want to hear from workers. We want to hear from workers because you all, those closest to the pain, know the solutions. And we know that by listening to you and making sure that the legislation that we're putting forward reflects your experiences, we're going to solve this. And our collective goal here is that this pay gap and this racial divide and segregation that is happening in our agencies disappears under our watch. It shouldn't be here, it should disappear under our watch. And so we're proud today of not only amplifying the report that the data unit has worked so hard on, but also making sure that our partners in the agencies, our administrators, are ready to give access to workers. Whether we're talking about promotional exams, whether we're talking about counseling our workers, our city workers, so that they know what's available to them, and they have a conversation about where do you want to see yourself next? You know, as an elected official, when we run for office, and many of y'all screen us, they ask us, what is your vision for the city? What is the vision for your community? Well, we should be asking city workers, what is their vision for their agency? What can we do as a city to move you forward? And that's why we're here today. So I'm grateful for this coalition. I'm grateful for this day. And I'm hoping that we close these gaps by working together to make sure that we're empowering every single city worker. When we empower a worker, we're empowering a family, we're empowering a community, we're empowering a child. And that is what our mission here is at the City Council. So without further ado, I'm gonna introduce Gloria Middleton, and please welcome her. Gloria.
Thank you, ladies. De La Rosa. I just want to thank you and your committee for taking on this very, very important fight. Yes, Local Law 18 was passed in the former City Council, but with this council, where there's a majority of women, that's right, they have decided to continue this fight and to move on. I'm Gloria Middleton, President of Communication Workers of America, and my union represents 9,000 active city administrative and private sector workers, and close to 6,000 retirees. one of our main objectives as a union representing predominantly women and women of color has always been to fight for equal salaries for all. Large gender and racial pay gaps are present in the New York City municipal workforce, with 95% of those gaps due to occupational segregation, as Carmen de la Rosa said. The pay parity report findings highlight the prevalence of this segregation both across agencies and within them. Job titles with the largest number of women of color tend to have lower median salaries that fall below the title salary band midpoint, indicating a systemic undervaluing of roles predominantly held by women of color. Understand that. Job titles with the largest number of women of color tend to have lower median rates. In other words, agencies where women predominate and they are managers, they are in high titles. When we looked at the scale for agencies where men have the managerial titles and the large responsibilities, their incomes is almost twice as much as the women in those agencies. Check the report. The perpetuation of wage disparities continues to rob a clear sector of workers of fair wages and the economic stability to support themselves and their families. New York City, we know what the cost of living is here. We have got to do better. For example, every dollar earned by white men, all other workers earn 81.5 cents. If non-white women were paid the same as men, this gap would shrink by 55.4%. Read the report. The pay parity report showed that in agencies with more than 100 employees, 13 of those agencies saw significant growth in non-white staff from 2012 to 2021, but only 3 of those saw notable increases of women. Further data shows that job titles with a high proportion of non-white female employees usually have lower median salaries, and not shockingly, these same employees experience the smallest pay gap improvement from 2018 to 2021. The worst offenders, according to the data, I didn't make this up, the data, the Department of Homeland Services, the Department of Probation, the Administrator for Children's Services, the Department of Correction, and the Fire Department, all of which lag behind tremendously in racial diversity. We know what happens with the Fire Department, and we know what happens with the Department of Correction. We must pass legislation that advances promotion and career development opportunities while continuing our oversight of pay equity laws until we see a meaningful change that does not jeopardize the diversity of our workforce and the pockets of working class women and minorities who serve our city. Everyone, regardless of race or gender, has a right to be compensated fairly and adequately for their hard work in keeping this city running. I thank you. Now I would like to introduce Farrah Lewis, Councilwoman Farrah Lewis, who is Carmen's right hand.
Let's give it up for Gloria Middleton! It's the chair, De La Rosa! Good morning, everyone. I'm Councilmember Farrah Lewis, Chair for the Committee on Women and Gender Equity. I stand in solidarity with Chair De La Rosa, our unions who are here today, DC 37, CWA 1180, CLC, and all others, to address the deeply ingrained injustice within our municipal workforce. Occupational segregation. Say it with me. Occupational segregation. It ain't right.
It ain't right.
It's despicable that the largest municipal workforce in our country, composed of 58% women and 64% people of color, face severe pay disparities in the workplace, with women of color making 84 cents to every dollar a man makes in government. It is time we demand equal pay for equal work.
Equal pay for equal work.
Equal pay for equal work. There you go. Today, we will shed light on the stark gender and race inequality
our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, our colleagues, our neighbors, whose talents and contributions have been undervalued. I didn't say valued. They've been undervalued simply because of their gender and race. That's a problem. I have heard from countless women in government who have shared stories of being devalued by their agencies. We've heard that from Boss Lady Middleton, ranging from administrators in the Department of Education, Department of Social Services, and so on. The report speaks for itself. That issue is not unique to one agency, but many. And we have to take care of it today, and we'll do that during our hearing. Thank you, Chair Douglas, for your leadership. You're amazing. Thank you to all the unions that stood up for yourself. And we look forward to continuing the fight.
Thank you so much. Up next, we're gonna hear from Arthur Chiliotis, President Emeritus of CWA 1180.
1180! I started working in the city in 1972, probably before many of you were even born. And by the time I got to be president of the local, we saw how the agencies responsible under the city charter to promote affirmative action did the opposite. The only place a city worker could go to get a fair shake, especially if they were women minorities, was with a union. The unions are the ones that had equal pay for equal work long before it was even appropriate. And Local 1180 saw what was going on with the Koch administration that led to corruption because white males were allowed to engage in illegal activities, holding jobs that should have gone to women of color. And what we have today is a report that came out of our EEO case, Local 1180 EEO case, that said we had to struggle and fight for years because the city would not give us the data that showed what we knew because we lived it in the agencies. We saw it, we felt it, we saw our efforts frustrated. And it was only when we were able to organize and unionize administrative managers who were on the managerial pay plan, who were suppressing the wages of all the women below that level. Not with a glass ceiling, it was a damn concrete ceiling. And not allowing, it got to the point where if a member of ours took the promotional test for administrative manager, they would maybe get the promotion guarantee because they were making more than what the starting pay was for administrative manager. To make a long story short, our EEO case changed it. We now have our members in 3 grades in administrative management making well above what they made before. And we continue to grow that thanks to glorious efforts in the negotiations that we've done. So our starting pays have gone up tremendously because we were able to force the city to do so. And hopefully, with this report, other unions can engage in the same process and stop the barriers that exist for the very agencies that have the responsibility to engage in affirmative action and not discriminate, in fact, resolve the issues of discrimination. So I look forward to this hearing, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Arthur. And we really do owe a debt of gratitude to CWA for all of your efforts. Thank you, CWA. So another partner that I feel like is in all our fights with us is the CLC. And we have Brandon Griffith here today. A few words, and his daughter Frances is here. Hi, Frances. We have Victoria and Lucia back there too.
Thank you very much, Council Member. My name is Brendan Griffith. I'm the Chief of Staff of the New York City Central Labor Council, and I just have a very few straightforward, simple messages. And the first is thank you. Thank you to this council for this report. Thank you to 1180 for starting this fight. You do not have a loud enough and long enough round of applause for Gloria Middleton. Maybe we'll get one more in there, please. Thank you all for the work that you're doing. The labor movement builds. We build people up. We build families up. And we build communities up. And every once in a while, to build up, you got to tear something down. You know, Arthur used the word barriers. And that's exactly what these are. These are barriers that we're going to tear down. We're going to stop the glass ceilings that say that workers of color and women workers can only go so far. We're going to do it together. So once again, thank you. We are proud to be in this fight with all of you. We are grateful for CWA 1180. We are grateful for DC 37. We are grateful for making sure that pay equity is a reality. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And I do want to recognize that the FDNY is here. There's a representative here. If you want to speak, please do take the mic. We know the issues that exist in the FDNY. We want to make sure that you're represented. And we've also been joined by my colleague, Tiffany Caban.
Thank you. My name is Mike Greco. I'm the Vice President of FDNY EMS, Local 2507. So it's always an honor when we get to speak, but the problem with that honor is we're speaking on behalf of disparate treatment of a workforce. Everybody looks at me, here I am, a white male, and immediately I'm a firefighter. We're not. I'm a paramedic for FDNY, and our service, which is 54% minority and women, are paid at a 50% rate of firefighters and police officers. So the first responders who are showing up to your house are getting statistically paid worse, and it's proven by the fact that we had to file after the footsteps of 1180. We had to file with the EEOC, and they ruled in our favor that the city is. But it takes another tremendous half-a-decade fight with legal lawsuits, and the answer can't be budgetary constraints. That's just an excuse and a tool of oppression to say that we have money for one thing, but sorry, not your disparate treatment. So we're standing here with all the other unions, with council members, and we just want to thank everybody who's come before us and those who are working with us now, that pay disparity is almost a crime, and women of color, women across the city, everybody should be paid their worth and should be paid just the same as the person working that same job next to them. So thank you for inviting us, and thank you for leading us in this fight.
Thank you very much. And we're also in solidarity with you and EMS.
Thank you. Yes.
So up next, Tiffany Caban, please.
Good morning, y'all. Always an honor to be here with you. I mean, this is about keeping our families and our city as a whole safe and healthy and stable. Whether you are a human service worker, a first responder, I mean, these are the jobs that literally allow all of us to get to our everyday lives. My mom was a human service worker who didn't make much at all. I look at EMS workers who are doing some of the most important jobs in the entire city, and they can't build out that pipeline in that workforce because folks are going to look for jobs in other places. They can't support their families, and we need to expand that workforce. And when we talk about the gender impacts, it gets worse because if you are a black woman or a brown woman or a queer woman or a trans woman, you're going to see those gaps get even larger and larger no matter what sector you are in. So this is about making sure every single person walks into their jobs with the dignity they deserve, and most importantly, the amount of money that matches that dignity that they deserve every single day, so that we can continue to enjoy this beautiful city. This isn't about supporting just widgets and machines to get things done, but making sure and understanding that it is our job in government to advocate and make sure that we are supporting all of us do that. And by and large, it's let's get y'all that coin.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you, Tiffany. So, we're getting ready to go into the hearing at noon, and I want to thank this coalition for being here. As you heard it's going to take all of us to dismantle a system that is built on racial segregation and the disempowerment of women, and particularly women of color. So we're looking forward to leading y'all in this fight. We're grateful for your efforts, for your dedication to this city, and we look forward to hearing your experiences in the hearing. This is part of the work. The work is not done, right? This is part of the work to highlight the plight for every single New Yorker to see what is happening in our city agencies and across the agencies. The real work begins when we begin to organize ourselves, as you all know, because you're labor, right? Organize ourselves so that we can create that change. So thank you all for being here. We're appreciative. I don't know if there's any
question. So a major focus of the report was on obviously promotions and career counseling, but obviously we still need people to do these jobs safety agents, case workers, social workers, all these jobs that are predominantly held by women and people of color. So how much of the council's focus is on really looking at the salaries of these very low-paid jobs, and these jobs barely make $40K a year?
Absolutely. That is always something that is top of mind and front of mind for us, especially when we think about our city workers. But as you know, a lot of the salaries are determined in the collective bargaining process, and that we lead to our leaders who are here. But we obviously understand, look, this city, the income inequality in this city is growing every single day. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. That is just the truth of what is happening in our city, right? I firmly believe at the labor chair that it's going to take all of us working together with our partners in organized labor to make sure if you walk, I'm going to invite you just to walk down and go to William Street, and you're going to see the MFJ workers right now in the picking. They're picketing because as human sector workers, they're not being given what they deserve. And so our call is always to the bosses to come to the table in good faith and bargain on behalf of the people that are moving not only our agencies forward, but our nonprofit organizations and our Starbucks workers, our Amazon workers, our corporations forward as well. And so that is the call that has been the focus of the city council. And obviously we understand that giving access and taking away obstacles is the way that we get our city agencies to thrive and move workers forward. Thank you. All right. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you at noon. Thank you. I keep saying.
All right, guys, it's over. It's done at 1 o'clock. It's over now.
Oh yeah.
It's over, guys. All right, it's over, guys. I mean, this is at 12 o'clock.
I do.
All right, so it's over, guys. I'm about to log off here and let it upload to YouTube. All right, take care. I'll see you tomorrow.